Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you, and today we're going to take a look at something maybe known as a mountain man knife, and this is Queen Cutlery. The model of this is a number 3L. So you may or may not know that these are done by Son. And very, very good knife here. One thing I like about it is what we call Sam bar stag. Sam, S-A-M, bar. That's a species of deer. And one thing about stag knives is you got to have quite a big horn to cover a big knife handle. And this has it. It's great stag. This is right at the top as far as I'm concerned, as far as stag goes. I don't think they can do any better. I really don't. The way that it comes up here and get just, yeah, let's go in here. Guys, it's super ergonomical. Okay, let's take a peek. We do have some comparison knives, so we'll be comparing those in a moment. But this is how the springs are looking. This is how the stag is looking. And this is how the shield is looking. And as far as I'm concerned, that's straight up and down. And the inside, not bad. Take a peek at the mirror polish, as well as the blade grind. 1095 carbon steel. Good pins. I do feel a slight bump on that. We have a kind of a brass tube for your lanyard. Okay, getting up close on the bone. Yeah, these are smooth. So, okay, we'll go ahead. I want to show you when we lift this up. What we want to look at is it's a lockback, and so this piece is going to drop into. You can see the groove right there, and this is finished nicely. Pretty nice and smooth. Now, I can tell you the action's not exceptional in terms of being smooth and that kind of a thing, but I think it'd break in if you use it. So let's get our comparison knife. And of course, you got to be pretty mighty if you're going to compare with a Buck 110. Now, this one comes to us out of the year of 2022. And they reintroduced the ebony wood handles. And who is that? Taylor Guitars. Taylor brand guitar actually is the source of that. You have to, ebony's an endangered wood. And so you're either going to be harvesting it illegally, or you have to have a plan in place where you are growing what you use. And Taylor brand, I think Taylor Guitars set that up, would have had to have been 40, 50, 60 years ago. And I think Buck sources it from them. But tremendous. Buck has it figured out when it comes to a lockback. So, well, let's go ahead and do a comparison. You guys hopefully know how big a Buck knife is. So this will give us, and what are we going to have? This particular Buck, the standard Buck, is 420 high carbon steel. And a lot of people already know that's got the Bose heat treatment, and it has a reputation for holding a good edge. It's a fantastic steel. This is a hollow grind. I don't know if you can see that. and it's just very thin here, very, very thin. And you need a tough steel so that your edge isn't always chipping, because it's such a thin edge. So this for me is kind of the American version of 14C Sandvik, 14C 28N. Now 1095 is a carbon steel, so this will show rust and pits, and it'll patina if you don't take care of it over time. Now it's a flat blade or flat grind, not as sharp. These things are just usually from the factory, just smoking sharp. This one, I think I need to hone it, but it's sharp. I don't want to run my finger this way on it. But cutting edge to cutting edge, we're looking about the same. This is probably considered a clip point, although it's kind of a drop point. Anyways, the point, it doesn't come up as high, and this one swoops up a little more. That's more what I would call a clip. You can actually see sort of the clip in it, and you would have to kind of, if you want to do any draw cuts, but it's good for skinning. This is a hunting knife. A lot of people have dressed a lot of deer, a lot of animals out over the time. This one they call a mountain man knife, the Queen. I don't know if I finished my story about being a safe buy. So yeah, this is Baronson, not the original Queen cutlery, but when you shop for some of these made by Queen, first of all, the stag is not as good. It's not. And I think this Baronson really stepped up their game, and this is just an exceptional. Yeah, it's almost $100, but it's built well. All right, so I don't know much about lockbacks. I just want to see how high that spring comes if we were to compare them. And we'll kind of come around and compare the finish. If you can see that notch, it's a little details like that. I think buck. Let's see if we can see that. Buck's been doing it longer, so they should know how to finish the lockback. So that was a lazy snap, but at least it was a snap. Where this is not being pulled in. Don't know if that's important to you or not. I don't know if my model's different, but the blades are centered down the middle. So very much about the same size. This one is lighter, much lighter. This buck has a lot. I would probably say though that this one's going to be more heavy duty. People own these for a lifetime sometimes. On this one, you'd have to work hard to break it or that type of thing, but it's just not as heavy. And I think you could use it for a lifetime. So, hey, we did have an Easter egg. I'm going to bring that one out. It's another USA made knife, and when I do my Easter eggs, they're you don't see that every day. So I do have a video. I did this knife about November of 24 maybe, or 23. Yeah, maybe. I found it at a local sporting goods store, and it's made by Leatherman. And I don't know if it's in 154 cm steel, which I like better than both these steels. I call 154 kind of the poor man's S35VN. It's not considered a super steel, but it has great edge holding abilities, easy to sharpen, and it's relatively tough. So I did just nick myself on this one. This was a display model at the sporting goods store. It was the last one they had, and man, I forget what it's called, but it's a Leatherman midlock, and that feels really good. Oh, nice snap. It's in I forget the name, probably kind of like an ABS, but what's Leatherman known for? Right? They are more of a multi-tool. So on this end, you got your gut hook, and over here is a sharpening stone. This one is a diamond. And I can tell you from the other ones I have seen, that, oh boy, I can't believe I can't pull that apart. This thing sometimes kind of likes to disappear. It falls out of the knife. So if you find one of these in the used market, be sure you get this. And I only found one, I think it's called a Nephilim, NEFH. It's really the only Leatherman knife I have. Maybe I'll include a video. But this thing, excellent. And now we'll compare. Now we have, both these have natural materials. This is antler, this is ebony, and this is going to be a synthetic. But it's got a larger sharpened blade. It has a, what would we call that? You know, a better steel. It has torque screws. It's a little bit big in the hand, but you might like that. It's a big knife overall. So let's see, we'll put this in the middle. We got it surrounded by a Buck 110 and a Leatherman. Those are some USA lock, I'm going to call them lockbacks, even though technically you might call this a mid lock. And that Leatherman's looking pretty beastly about now. And you gotta love Buck, but that Queen is something too. So, all right, guys, we're gonna let it go from here. Thanks for joining me. Bye now. And we'll take a look at the box this came in. I wrote Queen 3L on there, and if you've been following, you'll know this is what the other Queens and a Baron Sons have been coming in. So it's a tin. There's your Baron Son. We were going to have some. Okay, now I did a short on this and I called it a safe buy. So hopefully I covered that in the video. And that's how she looks. Thanks, guys. Oh, of course, little card. You want to look at that.